What's up guys, it's RJ back again with another video. In the last video we took a look at a bunch of boosts that I had delivered in the span of 2 days I believe, and I told you I'd be back really quick or as soon as possible with an in-depth review on one of the pairs, and this video will be followed up by a review on each of those pairs, hopefully individually if all goes as planned. So like I said, in the last video, I asked you guys to leave comments down below to let me know which shoes you wanted to see reviews on first. And the first comment I got was on the pair right above my right shoulder, the Tech Rust 3.0s. So I figured we'd just dive right into those. But right before we get into those, I want to give a special shout out to my buddy Steve. He runs a company called Champ Carts. They're an add to cart service, very similar to Soul Strike. You've heard me talk about them in the past. I still use Soul Strike, but me and Steve hooked up on Twitter, got a lot in common. We're both really small in our fields and trying to come up, and I was on vacation when the Tech Rust released. Steve stepped in, helped me out, and his company Champ Carts were able to secure the Tech Rust for me, so I didn't even have to bother while I was on vacation. So if you're looking for someone to help you out with an add to cart, any of the future releases coming out, I'm sure Steve would be happy to help you out. You can reach him on Twitter at Champ Carts, obviously. So like I said, don't even hesitate. Steve is a stand-up guy, super awesome dude. If you need anything, just hit him up. I'm sure he can help you out. Steve, I really appreciate everything you've done for me thus far, man. It means a lot. I hope the company grows fast. You're a great dude. I hope you see all the success you deserve, bro. And with all that said, let's get into the kicks.
We started off just like every love story does. Boy meets girl, next scene, your boy's going nuts. Knowing us, probably should've thought about forgoing love. You're supposed to be clever, girl, I'm just another scrub. But I got a chance I didn't deserve, and I'll be honest, I was getting fly with different birds. Ariana so bad, they were grinding with the problem, slalom skiing up in SoCal, Bombay in the water bottles, and and switch my plan up. You told me, boy, you should man up. I'm not just one of your fans, and I never needed your cash, so I passed. You can visit in memories of the past, girl, that's when I fell.
The Tech Rust 3.0 Ultra Boost, also being deemed the bronze outsoles, also being deemed the 3D printed heel cup, also being deemed, no, I'm just kidding. It's probably not even deemed the 3D print heel cup, but anyways, this Ultra Boost is the first to have 3 key components that have been featured on several other pairs. Obviously, we've talked about the leather cage that's appeared on several different pairs. I believe the first pair it came out on, nope, I'm not even gonna pretend like I know that fact because I always state wrong facts. I think it was the Tea Times, which were a collaboration with SNS and Adidas way back when with the 1.0s. I think that was the first leather cage. I might be mistaken, but anyways, we've seen several leather cages since, and they're definitely a cool addition to the shoe. It's kind of weird because leather cage shoes kind of have a different fit than plastic cage shoes, but we'll touch on that a bit later. Next, the 3D printed heel cup. I believe this is the first public release to feature these. They've been on several samples for months and months and months now, but I do believe this is the actual first global release that featured that 3D print heel cup. Talk about that a bit more. And lastly, obviously what stands out the most and what the shoe is named after is that bronze boost outsole. Again, just a painted layer, and we'll touch more on that in just a minute. But first, as we always do, let's break this shoe down. So first and foremost, it is a 3.0 Ultra Boost, features the 3.0 knit pattern, super soft prime knit. All the 3.0s have been super soft. They've kind of run a little bit different in sizing from the 1.0s and 2.0s. Like I said, the leather cage has some effect on the sizing, at least for me anyways. I'm not sure how the rest of you feel. If you've had any experience with that at all, comment down below. This was advertised as a complete black upper. It's actually a black upper with gray peppered in there. Some people refer to this as the stretch mark pattern. Kind of a gross name, but nonetheless, those stretch marks are the gray part of the upper prime knit. And something else I've never mentioned, when you get up to the tongue on this prime knit, the 3.0s have the softest tongue. That's probably the most cushion around the whole shoe for some reason is on that tongue. Kind of the same thing right around the ankle supports right here, but just on that tongue, super soft, something I had to point out to you guys. Next, to match that upper, you got flat black and gray laces, featuring bronze aglets to match that boost midsole. As always, super sticky continental outsole. And for some reason, as time goes on, I've got tile all throughout my house. These outsoles are super squeaky again, and I'm not exactly sure if that's just me or what's going on. So again, comment down below if you've noticed the outsoles getting extra squeaky, but they are really sticky. They're getting the job done. They do what they're supposed to do. Continental, shout out to you guys. Shout out to Adidas for partnering with them. Probably one of the best moves that they've done with the Ultra Boost since the release of it. Next, back to the upper. Obviously, like I said, real leather cage. Pretty standard quality as far as the leather cage goes. I wanted to pull these out real quick. These are the High Snobiety collaborations that came out. This leather on here was some of the best, softest leather that I had really ever seen on a shoe. wanted to share that with you guys. The leather on these is a little bit lower quality, still great leather. I'm not a super picky dude when it comes to leather, so it's got a leather cage. I'm down with it. I think it's a really good looking piece. So there you've got the leather cage. As always, Adidas continues to innovate even when it comes to a silhouette that hasn't changed in years now. They've added what is being called the 3D printed heel cup. So obviously 3D printing has really blown up in the last few years as well. And with everything that Adidas is doing with their future craft shoes and printing the complete midsoles, they've decided to 3D print the heel cup for the Ultra Boost. And honestly, those 3D printed heel cups feel stronger and sturdier than the plastic ones that we've been used to on past silhouettes. It's actually got a really cool texture to it, so that's a cool addition as well, if you can see that on the camera. And last, as far as aesthetics go on the shoe, like we already talked about, the shoe is named after that bronze tech rust midsole right there. As always, Adidas is painting these. They haven't figured out a way to actually dye the Boost efficiently enough to make it worthwhile, so they do just add paint on there. And I've actually pressed into this quite a bit, and the paint flexes really well. I don't have a pair that I've actually personally experienced the paint flaking off of. I know a lot of other people have. I think it just really depends on how much you use the shoe, the environment that you're wearing the shoe in, and how hard you are on the shoe. So just keep that in mind when you buy an Ultra Boost that does have a colored midsole. Nonetheless, all that aside, super good looking shoe. The black paired with the bronze was an awesome change of pace. I remember when the silver midsoles came out, those shoes turned out really ugly for some reason. I don't think really anybody liked them a whole lot. They did sell out, obviously most everything does, but I'm a bigger fan of these than I was of the silvers. I passed on those. I'm glad I copped these. Obviously, there's no reason we even need to touch on comfort. If you haven't worn an Ultra Boost, put your foot in one. You'll feel right away the differences from any other shoe. Boost technology is phenomenal. If you've been around the channel long enough, you've heard me talk about it a million times, so I won't bore you too much on that. These are comfortable, just as every other Ultra Boost are. But as far as fit goes, this is the biggest quarrel that I have with Adidas. I love Adidas. I love everything they're doing. I was a huge Nike fanatic back in the day, and Adidas has done enough to bring me over to this brand and absolutely fall in love with them. But please, Adidas, we have to figure out sizing. Someone needs to figure out sizing. I'm begging you guys, put someone in charge of it. Quality control, if it's different factories, I don't know what it is. Sizing is all over the place. The 1.0 and the 2.0 Ultra Boost were very similar in sizing. I wear a 10.5. I wear a 10.5 in all Nikes, as we've discussed before, so I figured I'd wear a 10.5 in Adidas forever. That's obviously not the case. 3.0s dropped earlier this year and they ran huge, so I sized down to a 10. Then the first parlays came out and they were super tight. I got back to a 10.5. I bought a 10 in these and they're somewhere in between there. So there's still so many variances going on when it comes to sizing. So as far as these go, you'll be safe with true to size. I went down a half size. I like my shoes to fit rather snug. My feet have been done growing for years. Down half size is okay on these. I'd probably stay true to size just because that leather cage tightens things up just a bit. But Adidas, we gotta figure out sizing. That's really the only thing I have negative to say about Adidas. Not that I'm looking for anything, but if someone asked me, that would be it. Sizing is just all over the place. I really hope they figure that out sometime in the near future. As always, removable insole. This one doesn't feature anything special, just the Ultra Boost branding right there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Adidas 3.0 Tech Rust with the 3D printed heel cup, the leather cage, and the painted midsole. And guys, that's gonna do it for me today. As always, I'll leave you by saying I appreciate each and every one of you that watches this video. And I'm gonna leave you with some dope on foot B-roll. Until next time, guys, peace out.
Gotta know what's this feeling that's so foreign to me. Cause I can see you when I sleep, you live in all of my dreams. It's like you're all that I need, and I've been calling for weeks. Pick up the phone, finally caught you, I just wanted to. This number is no longer in service, so that's the verdict. Guess this oxygen no longer is purpose. I'm feeling sick to my stomach, my boys will give it a month, and man, you'll be back to getting ass up in the back of the club. Well, that's the last thing that I want right now. I've been exclusively reclusive for like 9 months now. I heard you got a man, I'm hoping that you find love now. Cause you deserve it, as for me, I need to find myself. Girl, I fell